when you found out that you were going to play Morpheus or some version of him, what did you think? Were you in any way influenced by your idea of the character from watching Lawrence Fishburne on the previous films?
Yeah, sure. I think that's really the first step, is to look at the Morpheus that we know and to say, what did that Morpheus do well? What can I borrow? But then when you look at the script, to say, okay, well, what are my opportunities to add my own taste into my own flair to it? I knew that it was, never my job to come in and do a Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus impersonation, and that was a relief, But my job was to come in and to give a new representation of a character who wanted different things, who had a different background, a different perspective, and a sort of a flair of his own.
So I've been reading about Lana's filmmaking style, how she likes to do long takes and loves natural light, which kind of goes against what we think is the process of making this kind of action CGI movie, doesn't it? Could you tell me a little about that?
Yeah, Lana is kind of breaking the mold of what a blockbuster looks like, I think, and everything from the script to the way it happened on set was unlike any other film that I've experienced at this level. She is very fluid, and so you get a call sheet at the top of the day which says what you're going to do and what times you're going to do it. And I like to call that a work of fiction on this film, because you never knew what Lana wanted to do. And you would get there and you'd just be at her whim of, she wants to shoot this and actually she wants to shoot this. And suddenly you're on camera and it's not even your line and you're like, oh shit. And so you kind of had to be ready. She didn't like rehearsing, we would just go in and shoot. So you had to permanently be ready, which I like. I like the speed of the way that she works.
Yeah, I think we work with Lana, you got to be able to change with the changes. You got to be game to play and game to change. She does not direct from the director's chair. She's right there. She's up behind the camera. Sometimes she'll grab the camera if that's what it takes to get the shot. So very specific about her goals and visions, but she can work with the natural light, and she'll come in and adjust it, and we'll use the different, we'll use artificial light. I think when working with Lana, you just have to be game, and you have to trust that you're working with an absolute expert, and that is definitely the case.
Sounds very alive. Thinking about the Wachowskis' work, it is full of such empowering stories about love and community and diversity. And I think this one talks about it too. How does that spirit influence her work as a director?
Yeah, I think it experienced it. It was interesting, as a part of my audition process, the first time that I came in to meet Lana, we talked for maybe an hour and a half, and then we worked for 20 minutes most, on the scene. We talked about life and my background, my family, my artistic goals and values. For her, making the film was important. Obviously, it was important. She takes her craft, seriously. But it was also equally important to build a sense of community, on the set, and the experiences that we were having and the bonds that we were, that were being forged was equally important, and so I think that's also a representation of, the messaging in her films, the people who she chooses and invites to come out and work, with her. She's after a certain experience that is not just about putting out a movie, but it's about the process of making the movie and who she invites to create that experience with.
Yeah, she is. Lana is very careful about the way that she crafts an atmosphere, and the people that she brings along for the ride, and it's all about love.
Pero una parte de ti sabía que mentían. Una parte de ti sabía lo que era real.